Happy Book Talk Tuesday. Thanks for joining me today. So, last week I talked a little bit about the Texas Bluebonnet list, which is a list of books that librarians in Texas have put together that are great recommendations for 3rd through 6th grade. And I said I'm going to read all of them, which I still plan to do, but this week I'm going to talk to you about the Texas Lone Star list, which is for grades 6 through 8. And I have actually read several books on this list without realizing they were on the list. And then I've been purposely putting some of them on hold from the library to listen to them. Y'all, these lists this year are just the bomb. They are so great. I will tell you, if you're a teacher or a parent or a librarian and you're watching this, there are a lot of books on the Lone Star list that I may not have in my library because they're really geared more towards 8th grade, and we have 5th and 6th grade at my campus. So I don't recommend the whole list. Like if you are in elementary school, I wouldn't buy this whole list. But definitely there are lots that are great for 5th and 6th grade. So I'm going to go through some of them. The first one, I may have talked about this before. It's The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. So Emmy, her mom is a child psychologist, and she's very famous, and she travels all over helping people, fix their kids. But she kind of ignores her own, and so Emmy goes to private schools, and she sends her away, like to overseas, like to England somewhere, to this boarding school. Emmy didn't want to go. Mom is insisting because it's so great. While she is there, she discovers there's a secret society that they have there that might be kind of dangerous, and it may have something to do with her dad, who went missing many, many years ago. So it was a fantastic mystery, y'all. When I read this at like the beginning of the school year, I guess, I loved it. And there's a second one. There's a second one out now, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, the next one I want to tell you about is A Good Kind of Trouble. I just finished that one. There you go. I just finished this yesterday or the day before. So the main character of this book, Shayla is a rule follower like me. She follows the rules. She doesn't want to be in trouble. She just kind of blends in everywhere. She has two good friends that she's had forever. So Shayla's black. One of her friends is Asian, and her other best friend is Hispanic or Puerto Rican. So they call themselves the United Nations. I love it. But it is very much like what is happening in our world today. Something has happened, and a black person was killed by a police officer, and there's a trial, and people are some people are handling it well, and some people are not, and she is torn about what to do. She doesn't want to break the rules. She wants to follow the rules, but she also wants to take a stand and make sure that her voice is heard. It's fantastic. It is perfect for what is happening in our world right now. Lisa Moore Ramee is the author of this book, and she does a fantastic job really setting out a perfect perspective, but from a girl who is black. From a perfect perspective of what is happening in our world right now. Fantastic. It is great. I wouldn't recommend it below 5th grade, though. It's really more junior high. She's in junior high. So loved it. Okay, the next one, The Season of Styx Malone. I love this one also when I read it. So Styx, these two boys decide, like it's the beginning of summer. What are their names? Oh, Caleb and Bobby Jean. So they're brothers, and so for summer vacation, they're like all excited about summer, and they want these fireworks. Somebody has fireworks, and they want them. And so they decide to trade their baby sister for the fireworks. I wouldn't recommend that, but they did. Well, then they didn't want to get in trouble for having fireworks, so they went and hid them in the forest or in the woods behind their house. And when they went back to get them, they meet Styx Malone. Styx is back there. He's like, they don't know who he is. They've never seen him before. Styx is fun. He's got great ideas. He's older and wiser, and so he kind of talks them into doing a lot of things that they know they shouldn't do, but it's just so fun. but there are consequences to lots of things. I thought it was great. Great book. Dear Sweet Pea is another one that I loved. I listened to this one recently. It's Julie Murphy's middle grade book. Julie Murphy has several books that are more young adult, This is her middle grade that she just wrote. Loved it. I loved it. I think there's a movie. Maybe not. I think there might be a movie about this. I'm not sure. I know one of Julie Murphy's books was made into a movie, and Dumplin was. Anyway, fantastic. So in this book, Sweet Pea, her parents got divorced. She was shocked. To make things normal, because they want to keep it kind of normal for her, which, being divorced, it's not normal for a kid. The parents live like 2 doors away from each other. Dad has rented a house 2 doors down. So there's one house in between in between her parents, which is weird. The in-between neighbor writes the Dear Abby column for the newspaper, and she has to go out of town. She's a very mysterious older lady, and she asks Sweet Pea to come in and water her plants and pick up her mail, and if the editor sends her anything, she needs to send it to the lady. Well, Sweet Pea decides to take it upon herself to start answering some of the Dear Abby columns, which is not what she is supposed to do. So she's being very secretive. She's being secretive with her best friend, who thinks something is terribly wrong because she's acting weird and not telling him anything. Again, another fantastic book. Oh, The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. I just finished this one maybe last week. So Dan Gemeinhart is the author of this book, and I recommend anything by him. He is a fantastic author. But in this one, Coyote, she and her dad are on this like eternal road trip in a bus, an old school bus that he's kind of redone. Her mom and sisters were killed in an accident, and her dad just wants to forget the past and move forward, and they don't really have a direction. Coyote doesn't want to forget. She wants to keep her memories, and she finds out information while they're driving all around that makes her need to go home. She needs to go home, but she knows her dad won't go, so she tricks him into going home, and it was great. Charlie Thorne, I just started this one today. Stuart Gibbs is another one. I recommend anything by Stuart Gibbs. Everything I've read by him has been fantastic. I haven't read his Three Musketeers books, any of those yet, but I need to read those. This is the first one in the Charlie Thorne series. So Charlie is a genius, like Albert Einstein genius, and there are the CIA has found out that there are some papers that Einstein was working on that have an equation that could potentially like solve the fuel shortage in the United States and could make nuclear bombs look like nothing compared to what they could be. So the CIA needs Charlie, because she's a genius, they need her to help find these people so that this equation doesn't get into the wrong hands. So far, fabulous. I don't want to stop listening. I forgot to put Game Changer. Game Changer is another one. It's by, who is it by? Oh, Tommy Greenwald. So Game Changer is told mostly, it's about a boy who was playing football, and he was at his preseason football camp, and there was an injury. He got injured, like bad injured. No adults saw what happened. The people who saw what happened are not being honest about what happened. It was not during practice time. It was after practice time, and it was not good, and it was kind of on purpose. I don't think they intended for him to end up unconscious in the hospital. But what you hear in the book is this boy, Teddy. You are hearing people talking around him, people coming in and saying things to him. You are hearing the text messages between people wanting to know what's been said and what's going on. So you're kind of piecing together what happened in this whole story through all these other different people. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So if you like sports, it's a good one. Also, it's a great book about, not sharing something that you don't know is true. And if it's not your story to tell, then you don't have any business telling it. I hope that you will pick up some of these. There are other great ones that I've read on here. Small Spaces I've talked about before. The Lovely and the Lost I've talked about. Y'all, great lists. Go find some of these. So I hope you guys have a great day and go read lots of books.